What's good, Raider Nation? How you guys doing? Welcome to another great episode of the Unfiltered Truth. I'm your host, Phil Jones. Here with me, as always, my brother from another mother, Phil Robinson III. Phil Robinson letting it know that is the Unfiltered Truth. How are you doing?
I'm doing stupendous. I'm doing fabulous. The news that we've heard coming out of camp, coming out of Lost Thousand Oaks has been.
How you doing, Scott?
What's up, Scott? It has been very, very impressive. We got a lot to touch on. We got a lot to touch on that, but
everybody here. All right.
It's a great day. It's a great day to be a Raider fan. It's a great day to talk about the Raiders.
Absolutely, man. So where do you want to start? Where do you want to start? I mean, do you want to start at Hunter Renfrow is the real deal? You know, we can recap a little bit of that. Hunter Renfrow making, I don't know, a certain guy look like I'm your daddy now.
Swiss cheese, making that coverage look a little less tight. And really, really, really getting underneath some people's skin, you know.
But, you know how it is.
But I would imagine when you're the number one defense in the league last year, and you come in and some strangers come into the house and slap you around and kick their feet up on your coffee table and eat your food a little bit, that gets you feeling some type of way. It would
yeah. What do you think? I mean, we're supposed to be the team of LA, and
the team of LA.
You got the former team. Well, I mean, they've always been the team.
The former, current, and future team of LA.
Hey, they took care of business out there. They had an excellent practice defensively, offensively. Well, but first off, the fact of the matter is, the defense looked, from everybody saying the defense looked good. They did this, they did that. We heard that they were getting turnovers, interceptions, sacks. I mean, damn.
Well, heading into this offseason, the Raiders brass brought in a new defensive coordinator, and they brought in 13 new additions on defense to get it right. And it's great to see that the guys that they finally brought in are making a difference. I'm still quite curious to get eyes on Gerald McCoy, Quentin Jefferson, and all of those other guys, all of the starters at the defensive interior position, to see what's going on with them, because you saw Darius Philon. We still haven't seen Darius Stills. And we got a chance to see a little bit of Max Crosby and drills and working in against the tackle. Still haven't seen Yannick. I mean, we barely seen him in pads.
I mean, we caught in like glimpse of looking at Yannick, and you know, I said we've seen Solomon Thomas a couple of times, and even Farrell. I mean, going back to preseason, but I think it's, you know, I say that I think it's best that you don't flash off your best pieces on the defense or the offense. I mean, yeah, you're going to see like the drills going on. You're going to see something like doing the things from that 11-11 joint practice. You're going to see some of the things, but you're not going to flash all your good stuff, your good plays, your certain things you want to run with, I don't know, like Drake or Waller or, you know, John Brown. You don't want to flash out to anybody in the whole world to see, because people like to steal stuff.
Yes, they do. And we'll write it down and remember it in case they may see it again later to use against you at another time. There are certain things that you want everybody to see. And the things that you want everybody to see are your slot receiver cutting up DBs. You want everybody to see your 6'6" tight end out there looking uncoverable. That is what you want everybody to see. You want everybody to get scared and have to think about how it is we're going to cover these these dynamic players that do multiple things, these guys that are physical freaks, despite what they may or may not look like. And what was most encouraging that you heard about this, while you heard a lot of good things about not the run defense, but the defense in itself, was the push the offensive line got against the Rams defense. Running the ball is going to be the bread and butter of this team. And and Josh Jacobs was one of the stars in day one.
No, that's real. And, Phil, what the hell? I just want to congratulate Mr. Hunter Renfrow on his baby boy one last time.
Beautiful baby boy. Why don't you go ahead and pull that up?
I want to see a Hunter Renfrow's baby boy.
Beautiful baby boy.
That's a beautiful baby boy right there. I tell you that, boy. Look at that beautiful baby boy right there.
Woo! Him and his wife, proud owners, proud
parents.
Proud parents.
Yeah.
Proud parents.
Yeah.
Little family.
Yeah. I'm your daddy now, boy.
But Javi brings up a good point. This particular trip to LA was not without casualties, and they still have yet to play the game. Morrow is got a leg deal, and it's not looking good. There may or may not be he may not be going to the IR. Incognito also was banged up. They expect him to be fine in a couple of days, but you got to keep in mind he's coming off that Achilles injury, and he's definitely not getting any younger. And looking at John Simpson play that position last week was very troublesome, to say the least. But that's where we stand. I see. I think Kwiatkowski, but I think he got hit in the jewels or something like that.
I think Kwiatkowski he'll be fine coming back in. I think Incognito will be all right. He's a tough SOB. I mean, if y'all know Richie Incognito, that he's what John Gruden loves, is a Gruden grinder. And I don't see him being out like, oh my gosh, we're gonna miss him like week one. I don't think that's gonna happen. I mean, right off the bat, he's not gonna play tomorrow, or shoot, maybe not even week 3. And I'm fine with that. I think Richie will be ready to go week 1, Monday night, and saying, how you doing, brother? I'm here to run your ass over. I'm just saying. Let me tell you, brother.
So, what have you heard about Brian Edwards? Now, the hype coming in was that this was T.O., this was Randy Moss. This is the most eye-popping receiver we got in training camp so far. What have we heard about Brian Edwards?
I put it like this with Brian Edwards. I mean, we've heard that he went up against Jalen Ramsey in the joint practice, and you're going to have your moments. This is something. He's a young guy going against a top, well-seasoned veteran. So you're going to have your ups and downs. But then you're also going to have moments where you can outshine them. As you know, you heard Jalen Ramsey talking about doing his presser the other day. He got some on me, then I got some on him.
1 catch, 6 yards.
But you know what? This was a learning moment for Brian Edwards. And he usually, when you go up against the best and you embrace it, you grasp and learn what you can do to overcome their skills and techniques that you face against them, you get better.
And I mean, let's be real. He wasn't facing the top corner of any defense last season. He barely saw the field last season due to injury and Nelson Aguilar and Henry Ruggs and being the lowest guy on the receiving totem pole, even when he wasn't hurt. But he figures to be a major part in this offense this season. And just him lining up against a top corner like Ramsey, holding his own, giving as well as he's getting, that is a huge step forward in his development. And it should pay immediate dividends for this football team because going into it, they have made a blaring, wide open commitment to Ruggs, to Edwards, to Renfro as their guys. Those are their guys. Nobody else is coming in here. You saw the fact that you saw what is the name? Smoke out there for as long as you did in last week's preseason game. You see Zay Jones working his way up the depth chart, Keelan Doss. Those are all the ancillary pieces that are coming around. Ruggs, Edwards, and Renfro. Those are your horses along with Waller, Jacobs, and Drake, and Foster Moreau. Foster Moreau has been the rave of camp as well. And looking at what he did while he was at the tight end academy with Kittle, Kelsey, and Waller, he looks like a completely different guy. He's making spinning one-hand snags. He's blocking. He's a red zone nightmare. It all this, when you put it together, is going to give the Raiders options on top of options, and his blocking will actually help assist Leatherwood on the end.
Here's my thing with that O-line, and that's one of my keys for the Raiders going in tomorrow. The Raiders have to be successful from here on out. Yeah, people can say it's practice. Yeah, people can say it's preseason. But this is where you start to gel. This is where you start to sync and you get communication down. If you don't accomplish those few things, this O-line can fail. There needs to be communication established from Andre James when he's calling out certain adjustments at the line of scrimmage. Yes, he has big shoes to fill when you had Rodney Hudson doing that. He's going to have to be vocal.
And he's going to make his mistakes. He's
not. Here's my thing. He's going to learn.
Yes.
He's going to get it down.
Absolutely.
But now is the time. Everything needs to look, we're going to have to speed it up. This is not like you having fourth preseason game and whatnot. But the thing of it is, you're in the second preseason game and you got one last preseason game after that. So everybody needs to get in sync. They need to hear each other out. Call what you see at that line. Make sure you have someone's back or have somebody's side. That's how it was for me when I played O-line before, whether it was, back in high school and whatnot. I had to make sure, hey, if I'm playing guard, communicate with the tackle over here. What are you seeing? If you're at the tackle, see what you got a better view when you're the tackle in a way, because you can see that safety kind of creeping up. Because you might have your center like, hey, I'm tall, but I can't see what's going over on my right side. It's blinded by that big lineman that's I'm facing right over in the corner. So my thing is, if they communicate, they work with one another, they help each other out, the O-line can be very successful. Okay? I know there are a lot of people who are very questionable about it. I mean, you used to seeing Hudson and Jackson there, but the thing of it is, John Gruden, Tom Cable, they trust the younger guys here because they've been able to work and grasp everything from those veterans that were there last year. You still have Richie Incognito, who is, as he maintains staying healthy, he is a great left guard. When you have Denzel Good showing everybody that I'll go above and beyond at this position, and he's pretty damn good. Right there, Andre James, he has a good support group. You love what you see from Colton Miller. Mountain Man. He taking care of business on that left side.
Mountain Man from Westwood.
Yeah. Alex Leatherwood. I know that's the big question is, can he get it done? Will he do this? Will he do that? All Alex got to do, keep his head in the film room, work on them feet. He's going to have success.
I'll take it a step further. He's going to need to continue to work his footwork, especially stepping out to the outside to reach the speed defenders, to be able to wall off those blitzes and make sure that nobody's getting a free run to the quarterback. But you can help him with that. You can help him with that by lining a tight end over there and help limiting his responsibility, or at least getting a chip block on somebody to slow them down. So there's going to be a learning curve with James and Leatherwood, absolutely, and they're going to make mistakes. It's not going to be perfect, but as long as they make way less mistakes, then they get things right, and they continue to keep their heads in the game and learn on the fly and adjust and get better. They'll be fine. Towards the end of the season, I'm not quite going to say it'll be like you'll have Hudson and the whole rest of them there, but it'll look a lot better than what you were scared of heading into the season.
No, I definitely agree on that one. Man, man, I tell you, Phil.
Hold on. Matt says he's heard good stuff about Willie Snead too. Well, please share it with me because I haven't.
I'm gonna be real here. If we really want to talk about the wide receivers right now, I mean, I talked about it earlier during the week. I'll give you the list right here. This is what I'm seeing. Going into week 1, you're going to have Edwards, Ruggs. You're going to have the one and only third and Renfro. You're going to have Zay Jones. Yeah, I said it, Mr. I can rise back up like the dead, Zay Jones.
Levitate.
You're going to have John Brown. You're going to have Keelan Doss. That's 6 right there, right? I got a weird feeling, if things go right, they probably go 7 more receivers. Say that again?
How much are they paying John Brown again?
Well, let me go look into my book.
I haven't seen him make a play. I could be wrong, and I need to go.
I mean, you remember what I said that there's some things you don't want to show off right now to the public.
If he's gonna be on the field, I'd at least like to see him get a target and catch a ball. If he's gonna be on the field,
I believe he is. Yes.
And I'm talking about.
Hey, like I said, you don't show all your weapons. I mean, yeah, it's a 1 year. You're making about what 3 point. You're making about nearly about $4 million.
Yeah, they're not going to pay him.
I wouldn't. Hey, look, don't underestimate it. All right, because look, I'm gonna just say this: they ain't gonna show everybody what you want to hear. When you listen to these, you listen to the tweets at practice and all that. That's all you're going to hear. But am I going to show the whole world what I'm going to really do to all 17 teams I got to play this year?
I don't believe.
Well, no, I'm not. I'm not going to show anybody what I can do. I'm not even going to show you how I made that chocolate cake. I'm not going to show you how I thought about, I don't know, averaging about 40 points a game on your ass. I'm not going to show you how I'm going to do it.
Or adding sprinkles to my Spider 2Y banana split.
So, all I'm saying is, I think the Raiders are going on a good path right now, all right? So, and the one thing that actually kind of puts a smile on my face is just to hear the positive news about the defense. You're hearing the secondary is starting to show off. They're starting to
assert themselves.
Yes.
And assert themselves against quality opponents, not just in practice against some of the guys that we have concerns about, but the likes of Cooper Kupp, the likes of Robert Woods, Deshaun Jackson. You heard Jonathan Abram made a play on a pass, contending a pass to Deshaun Jackson. Those are the types of things that you want to hear. Casey Hayward is still out there making it happen. Guys are hitting. Nate Hobbs. What's he going to do next?
And, you know, I really think he's going to end up winning that nickel position.
I would be upset if he didn't, to be honest with you.
I think Nate Hobbs can do so much at that spot. That speed right there, that's something that the Raiders didn't have last year because you had, I don't know, the guy that said that, you know, I should have been playing safety all along. But when you read the article, it says that, oh, you know, I wanted to play nickel. Make up your damn mind, Mr. Joyner.
It's my natural position. I've been going back and forth from nickel to safety since high school. And it's funny, and I would know all about that because I wrote the article.
Well, I'm just going to sit there, you know.
That's a tasty burger.
But one good thing I'm going to be happy about is having Divine Diablo back. Hope most likely next week. We saw that him and Isaiah Johnson were in shoulder pads at the joint practice, but most likely I don't think they got involved with the 11-on-11 because I think they're still on the active PUP list. So if they get off the PUP list this coming week, that's a good sign. And then, you know, they'll probably be a little rusty. You know, if they get up, they're probably gonna work them in that preseason game against the Niners so they can get all the work that they need. But I'm hoping that Gillespie has I'm hoping that Gillespie has a solid game tomorrow. I know he looked a little rusty from being out with this injury, but he'll be back. He should be at 100% now. I think he's going to be showing off tomorrow evening for everybody to see that, hey, you know, don't sleep on me. And we should see Carl Joseph tomorrow.
We definitely should. I like where we're at with this safety room, and that's something that you haven't been able to say for a while. When you look at Jeff Heath, who just got signed, you look at Eric Harris, you look at Joyner, you look at all of the guys that they've turned over. One of the positions that they've redone nearly the entire depth chart at is safety. It needed to happen. These guys can play. You've heard nothing but good things about Trayvon Moore. He had an opportunity to pick off Matthew Stafford in back-to-back practices. He's covering deep. Nobody's getting behind him. And it's all part of the things that you've been so used to seeing on the field and wondering, why can't they get it right? Why can't they do this? They brought in veterans who can cover as well as this rookie.
Well, the veterans they kept bringing in were either washed up or, they were one-hit wonders.
They understood Gunther's system.
Yeah, but look what that has gotten you so far. Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing. What's up, Matt? One thing that hasn't been talked about much this past week was Farrell had a lot of snaps last preseason game. I hit on that during the spaces. It was good to see that he got the snaps and he got the work in, so they were able to see him inside. They were able to see him on the outside. You got to understand, they're gonna try. You got to make this. This is your 4th overall pick. You want him to get all the reps that he can get in. You want to make sure that he can come out week 1 and show everybody that all the chatter about, I'm not that good or I'm a bust, that needs to cease. So me being Marinelli or, oh, wow, that's funny. Being Gus Bradley, I want to get the best out of my guys. I don't want to let guys wither up on the bench and do nothing. I want to get the best out of each and every one of them, and especially Cleveland Farrell. I don't see Cleveland Farrell as a waste. I see him as a guy that, hey, he had to deal with this, he caught COVID. I know, yes, it does sound like excuses, but to be honest, the man got played out of position a couple times. And what's funny, I need to pull up that video when he was talking to NFL Network.
Yep.
He said one thing, that really caught my ear. I'm gonna see if I can find it.
Say when guys were trying to teach their players and weren't about their own agenda.
Yeah.
While you look that up, I'll touch on this on Farrell. Farrell is your best run-setting defensive end on this team. We said, yes, they have Solomon Thomas, and he looks beefy because he absolutely does. You have Malcolm Coombs, you got Gary Green, but you got Ngakwe and Crosby, but they are teaching Max to set a better edge. They are teaching Green to do the same thing, to squeeze down and still be able to keep outside contain and outside leverage to turn stretch plays and toss plays or anything outside back into the help. That is what Farrell did best for Gunther and Gunther's defense. So he's going to get his play time. They're trying. He lost some weight, and to me, losing the weight has made him look better instead of trying to pack it on. He looks much quicker. He just lacks a lot of foot speed. His athleticism coming out of college just didn't quite translate as well as I thought it was going to when I was pounding the table for him. But this is a 53-man team, and all 53 men need to contribute in order for success. If you're losing with 22, then the rest of your guys have no business on the team.
Okay, I found it. I was trying to get it to upload. So I'm going to put it up. I'm going to just put it up on my Twitter page. I put it on the Unfiltered Truth page. But yeah, that was some of the same things that he was saying in that interview. And it's just like, you mean to tell me that was going on with Gunther? He had his own personal agenda. And when one man that has his personal agenda and he's supposed to be a leader of men, your unit cannot succeed.
That's Littleton. That's Farrell. That's the old boy who was on Bussin' with the Boys.
Will Compton.
Will Compton. Who else? I feel
Tahir Whitehead.
Tahir Whitehead. And I feel like there's somebody else, another linebacker or corner. Oh, Arden Key.
Yeah. I mean, when you really just overall, when you go down the list, you have guys that are decent because you see them go elsewhere. I mean, they're not looking like they're
not all pros,
top 5, top 10 players or something like that. But I'm saying, like, when you ask them to play and try to get the job done, they do it. When they went elsewhere, everybody's always wondering, well, what's going on here? Well, why is that happening? Well, it looks like your defensive coordinator had his own agenda, or somebody else had their own agenda where it hampered others around them. That can't happen this year. It can't. It's
not going to.
And if that's been the case over the past couple of seasons, then it needs to cease and desist.
But it already has, Phil, and you know why? Because when Gus Bradley talks, he has experience behind his name. He's been to the mountaintop. He's created a defense with a name. Not just any defense, not just a scheme. His defense has a name. You only give a name to a legendary defense. The Legion of Boom is a defense that will stand forever. You will know who it refers to, when, what they were about, what the scheme was, and how dominant they were. There has not been a defensive coordinator like that for the Raiders since Al Davis.
No.
He doesn't have to talk big. He doesn't have to try to be something that he's not, because he's already done it. He's already had a top 10-ish defense with the scrubs from the Chargers.
And yeah, you look at some of the guys that were coming in last year, they were second, third string. You had guys that were from the practice squad that had stepped up and really performed to a level that you were like, wow, damn, he looked great. He looked solid. Man, some of those guys got a new contract, or they went elsewhere and got a new contract. Because it wasn't just Bradley. You had to look at Smith and Millis. They helped develop these guys. These guys were listening. They put in the work. And I think it's the same thing here. These guys are listening. They're putting in the work. And because you're doing that, you're going to have the success.
Man, let me just cut in real quick, because I want to touch on something you said. And the most important thing that you said was development. There has been little to no development in Oakland or Las Vegas in the organization with any of the guys on defense. And anybody who's any good on defense is out of here as soon as their first contract is up.
Well, hold on. Before you say that, I think there was development with a few guys on our defense back when they were in Oakland. The whole thing was they didn't want to pay. And that's a problem.
Yes. That is a problem, because there were definitely some guys, but overall there have been far less guys who've been developed through their system, which is why they always spend all the money on washed-up veterans and guys who can't play, or guys that they thought would be able to teach. And they finally have a staff who can teach and convince the players and sell the players, cajole them, whatever they got to do to get through to the players and get them to do what they need to do. Because the one overwhelming thing that you continue to hear coming out of training camp, OTAs, and everything Raider related is how much better this defense looks. Even looking at them against the Seahawks with their backups, with their second and third stringers, you looked at what they put out there and it was like, wow, they got a plan. They're playing together. They're staying in their spots. there's not a whole. The only time they really blew a coverage was on that little busted play where they threw the ball in the flat and there was nobody over there.
No, that's real. And the key overall, hey Corey, how you doing? Consistency. Consistency is something that we haven't seen. And we have to see it from the defense. We have to see it from the offense because we see a strong, consistent team in the first half. Really, overall, as a collective unit from this team, this 53-man roster that gets put together, even your guys that you have on your practice squad, they must be consistent. They must be one. And if you're not having that from weeks 1 to 18, we will end up back in that loop of we look good the first half of the season and we look terrible at the end. We can't have that going forward. It's got to stop.
Well,
I can talk about how good our quarterback looks, good our running backs look, good our wide receivers, tight ends. I can go on so on and so forth. But it doesn't matter if it doesn't translate into wins. Raiders do that, people will fear them once again.
Defense, for everybody who's been clamoring about the defense, who's made all of that noise about the defense, like I said earlier, you have winners on the squad now. You have winners at your influential positions. You have winners at your developmental positions, leading the development, telling guys when they need to turn the volume down a little bit, telling guys when they need to focus a little bit more, and most importantly, preparing guys to be able to step in and to do something different when the guys start to waver, when guys start feeling those bumps and bruises and those ouches a little bit more than what they've initially been letting on to, or when they've been trying to push through something and can't. Hell, rotations will help your guys stay fresher. Leaning on, go back to Crosby, for instance. Crosby played 95 to 98% of defensive snaps last season. Listen, bro, Max Crosby is all the kudos in the world. Nothing bad to say about Max Crosby, the player, but there's no fucking way he should be playing 98% of the defensive snaps.
Nah, man, this ain't 1995 where guys could do that shit anymore. It's like, look, the game speed over years, they change. It just speeds up. And you doing about 98 point, what I think it was about, right? Yeah, it was 98%.
Ungodly.
That man couldn't even breathe.
No. And we
like
still
that, you know what that reminds me of? That literally reminds me of how Mike Shanahan used to work the living shit out of his running backs.
And then get another one.
And then you wonder why they couldn't have a longevity career.
Run them into the ground and get another
one. I don't want that to happen to Max. I want Max to be playing year 13. All right. I ain't trying to go crazy and say my man gonna play about 20 years and shit. Look, man, look. I be talking to some of these former players and shit. They be like, man, my knees, my joints, my hips, my ass. I can't drop it anymore.
Get that Howie Long crew cut.
Hey, look, now, cause you know, like someone over my area, you see a few former players, and they're like, man, I can't dance like I used to do in the lounge, man. You know, my back, my knees, I can't do it anymore.
We ain't popping low in the flow. Otherwise, I have to stay there.
That's what I like. Mullen and Hayward starting outside corners. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I definitely see that going 100% of the way, whether you're going man or you're going, zone.
Or combination.
Yeah. You can
You
mix it up.
you don't want Hayward going man for too long. Not with that foot speed.
Rich said best depth in 15 years on this defense. I could agree on that one.
06, 07, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But let's say I think I'll put it out tomorrow, Phil. I'll give everybody my 53-man roster prediction. I'll put it out there. But once again, I'm going to say this. The things I want to see for tomorrow evening is this. One, I want to see what else Trey Regis can do. They got to see more of the pass blocking from him. They want to make sure that it stays consistent. Same with running on Northwest, East, South. They want to see how he hits the holes. They want to make sure that he can be that guy and probably take that third, most likely end up taking that third running back position.
Absolutely. The blocking is going to be more of what sets him apart than the running. They're plugging in bodies. You see BJ Emmons come in. He picked up running the ball very well as well. So it's going to be the blocking that differentiates between the third back and potentially getting rid of Jalen Richard. For me personally, what I want to see more than anything is I want to see consistency. We've been hearing about how good they looked in the scrimmage sessions on day one. We've been hearing about how they had a steady back and forth on day two. What I want to see is continued progress moving forward, and that they either continue to get the better of the Rams, or they go 50-50. But what I don't want to see is for them to get in an actual game situation and then get blown out and look lost. Because once that happens, then you have to question, what is it that we've been told about what's going on?
Yeah, I'm just wanting the same thing right here, Phil. That Jamaican Wi-Fi again, bro.
Coming in fine for mine.
Oh, it's coming. No, now it is. All of a sudden, we said something. That's what's funny. I jinxed it.
Somebody's hating on the wrong field. They're supposed to be cutting you off, not me.
Shut up. But
the hell do you know? You weren't on the sidelines.
Ow. Can you confirm that?
Yes, I can.
You got that little delay in, so
that 8-hour delay. Who catches the ball out of the backfield will be a better factor as well. No, it will not. Those will be your first two running backs. Your third running back will be a power guy and somebody who can block.
You know what? I think Regis has the lead on that. Hey, he could run out the backfield and he could catch out of the backfield as well. And he put that on display last week. I think he can do it again.
Was a better blocker.
Other thing is I don't want to forget. I got to see a solid performance from some of these O linemen. I want to see more of Andre James out there. I want to see more of Alex Leatherwood out there. And I'm going to say Lester Cotton Sr., that man needs to get a spot on this roster this year.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. So
defensive. So and let me get this last one off. Defensively, I want to see Malcolm Kuntz, and I want to see a little bit more of Damon Arnett. I want to see Damon Arnett try to show folks that what you're hearing at practice will transition onto the field during game days. I want to see more from him. I'm getting tired of folks putting that whole he's bad, this, that, I want to see more from him. I just want everybody to just kind of just ease up on the young fella, all right? I know it's a whole different generation of guys, but I think he can pull it together. Like I said, I like what Ron Millis is doing with the guys. I like the guidance he's giving them. It reminds me, if you played football, whether it was boys and girls, whether it was high school or even college at a certain age, if you're in your 30s right now, you knew that your coaches, they were passionate about you learning the game properly. That's what Ron Millis reminds me of. He's that old school head coach, like, look, it ain't prison, but we gonna learn. We gonna get this right. And that's what the Raiders need, especially for that young secondary. But I definitely want to see Arnett, Kuntz, James, Leatherwood, and then, Regis.
Question.
Yes.
With Richie being injured, who steps in to fill that spot? Do you go with Simpson or do you put in Cotton? Or do you move Good and put Cotton on the right side? How do we fill that void?
I think Cotton can play left guard. And if you know with Tom Cable, everybody is versatile on that O-line. Everyone. I mean, for example, look at Andre James now. Andre James came in as a left tackle or a right tackle, a guard, and then he went on and went to be center. When you see that, and then you also look at Denzel Good. Good has played left guard, right tackle. I can continue this. I mean, everybody is versatile for this line. And if you want that, you're going to say, hey, you know what? Let me go and put Lester Cotton over there if I feel like I'm going to have some good success right there. But then again, I still want to see John Simpson put it together. It ain't over. No, you have sometimes you go, and everybody has a rough outing in the beginning. It's whether you can rebound from it. If you can't rebound from adversity, you can't succeed.
Nope.
So we'll see tomorrow. And these guys, they're young, they're confident, they have a positive mind. I believe they can get it. I know I'm sounding Mr. Over positivity and all that, but I'm actually being real. And if you can't be real with it, I mean, shit, then you're living on the throne of lies. But Phil, you had anything else to add, my friend?
If you like what you've heard, click the like button, the little thumbs up. Please subscribe to the Unfiltered Truth. Check out the Unfiltered Truth webpage at unfilteredtruth.com. Take a look at some of the shirts that we got. We make these, we print our own, we ship them out to you, we get paid cash checks. We are trying just a little fledgling operation, a couple of broke guys trying to get paid, doing this whole media thing, staying at home, working on remote, doing things the hard way. But we do this for you.
That's all it is.
Somebody's got to tell y'all the truth. the whole truth, the unfiltered truth. So help us God.
Yeah. We show integrity. We want to make sure you guys get what you truly deserve. With a fan base that has dealt with a team of mediocrity, you guys deserve to hear each and everything that is truthful. You guys, the fans that put in hundreds of thousands of dollars into games, memorabilia, you guys deserve to hear it all. And I'm not going to bullshit you. I'm not going to yank your chain. I'm not going to pull something from out of my ass where you think that, oh, where did you get that from? Nah, I'm not about that. If I'm going to give you the right, accurate shit that you deserve to hear, you're going to hear it. That's a fact.
And what we don't do is steal other people's content.
Everything that you shouldn't do it. Nah.
Everything that you hear comes straight from here, and practice reports that you can find readily available any place on the internet.
Yep.
But I'm done.
I said what I said. If you want to hear more, you know where to find us. You can find me on Twitter, Phil Jones NFL, the one and only. Find him at Phil Robinson III. He's the one and only. That's the unfiltered truth. You want the real shit? Come fuck with us. Y'all take care. God bless. Enjoy your weekend. Raider Nation.
Game day is upon us.
Raiders. Take care.
We out.